All right. How are we? 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 Okay. How are we this afternoon? How are we this afternoon? How are we? Okay, from the title, you have seen that we'll be discussing the discursive type of composition. All right. So we'll be discussing about a discursive type of composition. All right. As you know that when it comes to English paper 1, there is need for you to choose a composition whenever it comes to English paper 1 section A. You have to choose or rather pick one composition. All right. So there is let me say the issue of knowing, you have to know. So this is a list. There is narrative, there is descriptive, there is what you call argumentative, okay. So the same discursive can also bring a letter, okay. Then when it comes to explanatory compositions, whereby they'll just start with explain the issue of so so and so so. So these are some of the compositions whereby one has to know. And whenever it comes to English paper 1 section A, there is need for one to choose only one. It can be narrative, which means to tell a story. These are compositions whereby they'll just start like write a story on the issue of you'll be given something to write on. Then also the titles are given. Most of the titles are idiomatic phrases, okay. Also proverbs also, okay. They can just say write a story on the following titles. Roman numeral number 1, they'll say 8 eggs in one basket. So that's an idiomatic phrase whereby there's a deeper meaning behind the same thing. Descriptive type of composition, okay, whereby you have to describe things, okay, in detail with the help of the 5 appealing senses. Then there's argumentative type of composition, which we can also term it as what? As a debate, okay. Debate, or rather persuasive also. Or then there's what we call a discursive, whereby it's very much important. So very much important also. So when it comes to argumentative, there is need to pick a side. But when it comes to discursive, you have to support both sides. All right. So when it comes to this one, argumentative, there is need to pick a side, right? Or rather to choose a side, okay. So in argumentative type of composition, you have to choose a side, okay. But when it comes to discursive type of composition, there is need of doing what? supporting. Okay, you have to support both what? You have to support both sides. Okay, so whenever you are writing a discursive type of composition, you have to support both sides. But in argumentative debate form, you just have to pick a side. Are you saying yes or you are saying no? So in discursive, you support both sides. In short, I can simply say you sit on a fence. You have to sit on a fence, okay? Which means you have to, let me say, support both sides, okay? You have to support both sides, okay? You accept and at the same time you disagree, okay? You argue at the same time you be against, okay? So that's the way it is when it comes to discursive type of composition. Now let us go into detail to explain it fully. So now there are some certain key things whereby one has to understand very well whenever he or she is handling a discursive type of what? Composition. Okay? Each and every composition has its what? On, let me say, um, on thing. Okay? Or rather key points. So now, the first key thing that you must understand is what is a discursive type of composition. Okay, what is a discursive type of composition? So in simpler terms, we can simply term it as let me say is a type of what? Is a type of composition. Okay, is a type of composition, let me say, involving, okay, involving, let me say, presenting a balanced discussion. Is a type of composition involving presenting a balanced discussion. So here you have to balance your information very, very well. Okay, you have to balance. Okay, so it's a type of composition involving presenting a balanced discussion. Okay, on a given topic. So on a given topic, all right. So it's a type of composition involving presenting a balanced discussion on a given what? Topic. Okay, so now it is very much important whereby you understand that whenever you are handling a discursive type of composition, there is need to do what? To balance your work. You must not choose a side. You have to sit on a fence. Okay? Now, since we have understood that, okay, it involves presenting a balanced what? Discussion on a given what? Topic. So now it's very much important whereby you understand there are some key things. Okay, there are some key points one has to do what? Key points one has to understand. Okay, so number one, you must know that a discursive type of composition must have a what? Must have a title. Okay, must have a title. So the title in this case can be the same question. Okay, the title can be the same what? Can be the same question. Okay, then also it's very much important whereby you understand that after writing the title, the other key thing is the introduction. So the other key thing is the introduction. So make sure that your introduction is what? Is engaging. Okay? Make sure that you begin with an engaging introduction that provides background information on the topic and clearly states why you are presenting or either writing the same topic. Okay, so introduction, it must be engaging. So when I say engaging, it must make sure that it must let me say it must show a neutral standing. Okay, it must show a neutral standing. If you check verbal, when it comes to argumentative type of composition, whereby a person can just say, I am against the motion above. But now in this case, the first paragraph, or rather the first line, it must have a neutral standing. Okay? You must sit on a fence. Okay? You must not reveal your standing, or rather your position. Okay? You must be on neutral. You must not reveal your actual choice. Sit on a fence. Your introduction must make sure that it's touching both sides. Okay, you are accepting, and at the same time you are not accepting. Okay, it must be let me say in between. Like for example, let me come up with this phrase so that you see. This one you can say others were born to be first. Okay, see, others were born first, comma, say others were born to be first, but I was born both. Okay? Others were born first. Others were born to be first, but I was born both. You see? The introduction that I'm giving here is simply indicating both sides. Okay? It's not clearly stating where I am choosing. Okay? So that's how your first paragraph, or rather your introduction must be. Okay? It must not reveal the actual position why you are, let me say, of your choice. Okay, where you are standing. Okay? So others were born first, others were born to be first, but I was born both. Okay? Be like, what is this same thing meaning? Okay. Or if not starting like this, your introduction must start by you can start by defining what you are writing. You can define. Okay, you can start by defining what you are writing. You can start by defining what you are doing. What you are writing. It's very much important. Okay, you can define. Okay, by starting, oh, this is what let me say, for example, you are writing about, let me say, population. Say it's the total number of people living in the country, such a way that, so you even give up a short description, or rather definition of what you are writing about. Okay, then after that, the other key thing is the main body. So the other key thing is the main body. So now it's very much important whereby you understand that in the main body, that's where now you are going to present what? To present evidence. Okay? In this main body, you have to give evidence. Okay? You have to provide, or rather give evidence. When it comes to the main body, you have to show evidence in terms of statistics. You give out numbers, evidence, okay, what you have. Like for example, let me see, a newspaper dated 29th July 2020. You have seen? I'm about now to give an evidence. A newspaper dated 29th July 2020. Let me say, uh, let me say, said over 70% of students failed. Okay, I'm giving out an evidence on how I'll be giving out the information. So in the main body, you can start by giving the evidence, or rather the statistics. You can say a newspaper dated, let me say you come up with a date, then now you say your statistics, or rather the point that you want to give, the evidence. Okay, the evidence. Then now, the other key thing that you must understand is that when it comes to this key thing, you must also observe some neatness. Okay, observe some neatness. So number four key thing, make sure that you use what? Transition words. Make sure that you use transition words. Okay, let me drink some water. Okay, so you must use transition words, whereby if I say transition words like, let me say, furthermore, words like furthermore, let me say the same, however, on the other hand, okay, these kinds of words, okay, they will show that you are sitting on a fence. Okay, you are balancing up things. All right, including firstly, secondly, or those, then they are necessary, but make sure that this kind of composition, it must indicate that you are not choosing any side. You are sitting on both what? Sides. Okay, now we have said it's a type of composition involving presenting a balanced discussion on a given topic. Then number one, a title. A title can be the same question, introduction. You must have an engaging or a neutral standing, okay, whereby you must not clearly state where you are, let me say, the sides that you'll be picking. Okay, then number three, main body, give evidence, statistics. Okay, then number four, you can use transition what? Words. Okay, so mind you, this is not a mandatory composition whereby you have to choose it. No, it's a choice. Okay, if you feel like this one is way too good to you, you can pick it. If you are sticking with argumentative, it's okay. If you are sticking with the descriptive, it's okay. If you're sticking with the narrative, it's okay. You just have to pick one. Okay, so even the main reason why I'm even teaching this is just to teach, so that because you students, you do differ. Someone can understand descriptive very well, but fails to understand discursive. Also others, they can understand argumentative more and minus, let me say, understanding the discursive. So there are those whereby they are going to enjoy discursive more than argumentative or descriptive. All right. So that's the way it is. So it's a type of composition involving presenting a balanced discussion on a given what topic. It must have the title. The title can be the same question. Number two, the introduction must be engaging. All right. It must have a neutral standing, whereby you don't expose your side. Don't you ever expose your side. You will only expose our sides in an argumentative debate. Okay, composition. The main body give evidence, then transitional words used like furthermore, however, on the other hand, in contrast. Okay, so that's the way it is. Let us look at an exam question on how we can apply these kinds of things, so that you see the format. These are kind of what composition. Okay, so now let us look at this exam question. Okay, I think this came in 2020. Yes, it was saying this was a 2020 paper 1. The question was saying the learners, okay, learners should be allowed to take subjects of their choice at secondary school. All right. So learners should be allowed to take subjects of their choice at secondary school. Discuss. So this is how a question will come. There's a full stop here, mind you. Then discuss. So this is how a question on discursive type of composition comes. So learners should be allowed to take subjects of their choice at secondary school. Then discuss. So this is how a question comes. Okay, Kenneth and Gift, how are you? How are you? Sorry, I did not see your messages. How are you, Kenneth and Stephen? How are you? All right. So this was the question which came in 2020, paper 1. It was saying learners should be allowed to take subjects of their choice at secondary school. Then discuss. So mind you, the first key thing, you must write your what? Your title. Okay? So since it says learners should be allowed to take subjects of their choice at secondary school, you can check this is a question. Now it's long. Okay, we cannot write the entire question as our title. No. We must not write the entire. Okay, we must not write the entire. Yes, I'm fine. Okay, so we must not write the entire. We must not write the entire question as our title, because this is too big or so. All right, so what you're going to do, you have to minimize. Okay, you have to minimize your title. We normally say your title must be short. Your title must be short. Your title must be what? Must be short. All right, so your title can be like this. You can say Okay, or even here, or you can write depends with your handwriting, depends with your handwriting. So learners, okay, um, can see learners so learners should be allowed to take subjects of their choice. Okay, at secondary school, like this, then you even underline like this, like this, like this. We say here, or you say as if you're asking should. Okay, so that's our title. So learners should be allowed to take subjects of their school, to take subjects of their choice at secondary school, or can say should learners be allowed to take subjects of their choice at school. So this one, a question mark, as if you're asking like that of argumentative type of composition. So between the two, which one is okay? Which one is okay? Number one, the first title or the second title? According to you guys, which one do you feel like it's okay? Is it the first title or the second title, the one which is okay to you? Which one? All right. So after writing the same title, okay, then now you start. Then now, after writing the title, now what are you going to do? You start now. You are going to start. Okay, you are going to start. Okay, now, like what I've said, your introduction must not indicate your side. Okay, it must not indicate the side that you are picking. Here, there's no need of you picking sides. You have to sit on the fence. You have to choose both sides. You have to support both sides. Okay, you have to stand on those on both sides. Okay, so like this, Okay, starting now. So I'll choose the indenting way of writing. Say allowing, okay, allowing learners, okay, um, to take subjects, okay, to take subjects of choice at secondary school, let me say, can have several benefit, can have several benefits, okay, can have several benefits for their academic development and personal growth. Okay, so allowing learners to take subjects of choice at secondary school can have several benefits of their academic development and personal growth. So if you check, this paragraph is not clearly indicating, okay, this paragraph is not clearly indicating the side I'm picking, okay. So allowing learners to take subjects of choice at secondary school can have several benefits of their academic development and personal growth. And say not just benefits, okay, not just benefits, but also challenges it can bring to their what? To their lives. You have seen? So allowing learners to take subjects of choice at secondary school can have several benefits for their academic development and personal growth. Not just benefits, but also challenges it can bring to their what? Lives. Okay, so not just benefits, but also challenges it can bring to their what? Okay, you can say not just challenges, okay, not just benefits, not just benefits, not just benefits only, it can bring lots of challenges to learners. Okay, allowing learners to take subjects of their choice at secondary school can have several benefits for their academic development and personal growth. Not just benefits only, it can bring lots of challenges to learners. So if you can check, I am sitting on the fence. Okay, so I am sitting on the fence. Here I'm not clearly indicating the exact side which I'm standing on. Okay, I am sitting on a fence. I'm not clearly indicating the exact side. I'm standing on. Okay, so allowing learners to take subjects of choice at secondary school can have several benefits for their academic development and personal growth. Not just benefits only, it can bring lots of what challenges to learners. So I am sitting on the fence. I've touched the part of giving us several benefits, and also at the same time I've said it can bring lots of what challenges to them. I am standing on a neutral. Okay, I am sitting on a fence actually. Okay, so how is it the first paragraph? How is it how is the first paragraph? Kenneth, Gift, Stephen, others, are we getting the concept when it comes to the first paragraph, how you should come up with it? Don't clearly show your side, but you must make sure that your view must to support both sides. You must indicate both sides. So like allowing learners to take subjects of choice at secondary school can have several benefits of their academic development and personal growth. Not just benefits only, it can bring lots of what challenges to learners. Then now after writing this now, your first paragraph, you show your neutral standing. Okay, shown your neutral standing. Then after showing your neutral standing now, you can end up now giving let me say writing your main body now. So you can say, to start with, giving giving students let me say the power. So giving students the power to choose subject to choose subjects they are passionate they they are passionate about. Okay, can increase their engagement. They can increase their engagement and motivation okay, in learning. So say when a student let me say when students have a say in their education they are more likely to take ownership of their learning journey. and pursue subject that align with their interest and career. You have seen? So, to start with, giving students the power to choose subjects they are passionate about can increase their engagement and motivation in learning. When students have a say in their education, they are more likely to take ownership of their learning journey and pursue subjects that align with their interest and career. So I am sitting on a fence. I'm not saying it's very much. I'm not saying it's very much good for students to choose it because it's what you don't have to clearly indicate your side. Okay, you have to sit on a fence. Okay, you have to sit on a fence whenever you're writing this. From the intro, allowing learners to take subjects of choice at secondary school can have several benefits for their academic development and personal growth. Not just benefits only, it can also bring, okay, lots of what challenges to learners. I've seen, I am saying two things here, okay, I'm tackling two things here, which means I am on a neutral standing, okay, I am on a neutral standing. I'm not clearly indicating the side which I'm picking. Okay, so to start with, giving students the power to choose subjects they are passionate about can increase their engagement and motivation in learning. When students have a say in their education, they are more likely to take ownership of their learning journey and pursue subjects that align with their what, interest and career. So it's more like, if you check in this in the first paragraph, I am simply, it's more like I am supporting, I'm clearly supporting, look, giving students the power to choose subjects they are passionate about. It's more like I'm favoring that if these key things they are put into place, okay, students, they're going to have more power, okay, they are, let me say, when it comes to their learning journey in terms of pursuing or pursuing their careers or interests align with their what, education. Then now, here in the paragraph, let me say, when you support one thing in one paragraph, the other key thing disagree with it. Okay, okay. So now to start with, like the way I've done it, now say say further, say furthermore, allowing learners to take subjects of choice, okay, can also, let me say, bring challenges uh, let me say, lack of teaching materials, okay, lack of teaching materials to be what, to be provided to be provided in school, to be provided in schools, because we say that can be termed as quality education. Quality education, okay, it needs lots of what? Support in order for it to be effective. You have seen? So further, allowing learners to take subjects of their choice can also bring challenges like lack of teaching materials, to be provided in schools, because that can be termed as quality education. It needs lots of support in order for it to be what? Effective. Okay, you are accepting and also at the same time you are not accepting. You are agreeing and at the same time you are going against. That's the rule of the discursive type of composition. You must sit on the fence. Okay, you must not clearly indicate your side of picking. Okay, you must sit on a fence. That's the way it is when it comes to this key thing. Whenever you are handling the now here, then adapt to say, okay, start with, okay, furthermore, moreover, comma, then now you even add up another point. But make sure, since this is the introduction, so this is the main body. Okay, to start with, furthermore, at least in the main body, 3 paragraphs are okay. In the main body, at least 3 paragraphs are okay. Then now, at least in the same main body, upon writing this key thing, like for example here, to start with, furthermore, then now when you write the other next paragraph, indicate some evidence. It is noted that on the 29th of what, the minister of what said this and kind of thing. Okay, which it will add more spice to your what, to your writing. It will add more spice to your writing, Okay, now I'll assume that I am concluding. Now how to end it. Okay. So we say I am concluding now. Say on a closing note, comma, you can say, wow, subject choice can empower students. Okay, and enhance their learning. Okay, their learning experiences. Okay, it's crucial to to balance okay, so to balance individual freedom with consideration of equity and access by offering a flexible curriculum that can cater interests and needs. Full stop. So, on a closing note, while subject choice can empower students and enhance their learning experiences, it's crucial to balance individual freedom with consideration of equity and access by offering a flexible curriculum that can cater interest and needs. So, in short, we can simply say this kind of composition, it needs you to balance things. Okay, you must accept, and at the same time you must disagree with what you are saying. Okay, you can make this paragraph it's accepting, the other paragraph it's disagreeing. Okay, then now whenever you are ending, make sure that you sound neutral. Okay, your first paragraph must sound neutral, and also your ending paragraph must highlight, okay, the significance of considering both two things. Okay, so on a closing note, while subject choice can empower students and enhance their learning experiences, it's crucial to balance individual, which means it's difficult to balance individual freedom with consideration of equity and access by offering a flexible curriculum that can cater interest and needs. Okay, so if you are so interested in picking this kind of composition, you can go with it. All right, mind you, there's a choice. Okay, so it's a choice. If you feel like going with descriptive, it's okay. Going with argumentative, it's okay. If you feel like this one is kind of confusing you, mind you, stick to the other ones. Okay, it's a choice here. Descriptive, argumentative, or narrative. It's up to you. You can pick. Same. Discursive. Okay, one has to be picked. All right, so how was the lesson, guys? Is this also so simple, or it's kind of tricky? How is it, guys? Does it sound easy? Kenneth, Stephen, does this kind of composition sound tricky, or is just okay? How is it? 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 Right. So Stephen is saying it's just okay. Others, hey Lisa. How are you, Lisa? And Rachel. Right. Okay, so Stephen is saying it's just okay. What about others? All right, Stephen. So Stephen, so what is your choice? What is your choice now here? Are you going with a descriptive, argumentative, or discursive? What is your choice, Stephen? Okay. What type of composition are you going to pick? Is it descriptive, argumentative, or discursive? Make sure that whenever you are making a decision, you must make a very solid decision. Okay? Make a very solid decision. Okay? Don't just pick a composition just because you have loved the question the way it is. Okay? You have just loved the way the question is. Mind you, even though the question sounds interesting or attractive, if you don't know how to write it, if you don't know how to answer the type of composition, my friend, you are going to lose marks. So it's very much important whereby you stick to something whereby you are passionate about. You know it very well. You know the angles very well. Okay? Because examiners are very much clever. They'll try by all means whereby to come up with a switch titles. Titles which are attractive so that they disturb you choosing your perfect one. Okay? Your perfect one will just have a title which is not that attractive. Yes, it's just straightforward, but the title, it won't be attractive. It won't be attractive. Okay? But the other one which you are not picking, you'll be like, the title, it's so convincing, and also you have lots of points on the same issue. Now, how to write it? You end up writing things which are not are needed in the exact composition. All right. So Stephen is saying argumentative. Okay, Stephen. So why? Why are you why are you choosing argumentative? Give a reason. Why? Why argumentative among all? Why argumentative among all? Why argumentative among all? Why argumentative? Why argumentative among all? All right, so 1 minute remaining before we end the live. 1 minute remaining before we even end the live. If you do have a question, you can ask in 1 minute before we end the live. Only 1 minute now remaining before we end the live. Any question? I'm here to answer you. Any questions? All right, so Stephen is saying it is easy to support or to be against the topic which is given. All right, and that's true. Yes, that's true, Stephen. That's very true. Because when it comes to argumentative, you even know you just have to pick a side. On the same side, you just have to come up with what? With powerful points. That's all. Now, the bad part about the same discursive is that you can end up forgetting that you have to do what? You have to balance. You can end up mixing things. All right. So it's very much important whereby you pick something you know very well. Because this one, if you're not careful enough, you can end up, you can end up writing it as if it's argumentative. Okay? You have to balance. So it's very much important that you know how to do it very well. You know how to write it very well. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, Kenneth. Yes, at Sosa. Yeah. Okay. On that point, is it right to write in past? Okay. In present. In present. Okay. It's in present. In present form. All right. All right. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. That's where I'll be saying my goodbye. Thank you very much. This has been Muleko Bright. Thank you very